Welcome to IVTNN's Good Morning World. Today we have a very brief subject because many confusions are going on across the world, especially in India-China border dispute. So let us look at what is the next best option in front of China and India. Please stay with us. Today we are going to discuss about the confusion among the people and the authorities who came with contradicting views about the Indo-China border intrusion and fight between the each forces and ultimate death of many soldiers on both sides. We are not talking about one side. Both sides, the loss of life is equal for everyone. The soldiers have also got a life, they got a wife, they got a family. So it is to be investigated, or it has to be studied thoroughly without any bias. Here what we are seeing is that the Prime Minister of India has come out with a statement that China has not intruded into any inch of Indian soil. Then the question is that then why are you creating so much problem? Why did you move the soldiers and the armed forces? Is it for any form of a cover-up, or do you have any other understanding, or do you have any other objective? The answer is to be come from the Prime Minister's side only, because the Chinese side said that we didn't encroach into any side. The Prime Minister of India is also saying that if we didn't encroach, China didn't encroach into the Indian side. Then why did they go for such a war? Why did they create such a fear among the people? And why did they create such an alert in the country? And why did you waste money for moving the army, truck and everything? Especially when a period the country is facing such a financial crisis. So in this, the Prime Minister himself has to give an answer which would convince the public and the people who can think independently. So is there any talk is going on between the government side or in the between the diplomatic side? The answer may be yes, because both sides now have looked to kind of a silent response to the media. No one is explaining what is actually happened and what are the areas China has established their post and everything, and the Indian side also speaking nothing. So in such a scenario, it would be better we would not give any comment about the intrusion. If China believe that they didn't encroach, and if the government of India says that they didn't encroach, then the chapter has to be closed with immediate effect and without bringing any more tension between the both soldiers. Otherwise, it may end up in an unwanted war between two good neighbors, the neighbors who has lived together for many years, and China is the only country accepted India as a Hindu nation, and Nepal is again a Hindu nation. China is trying to woo its neighbors and encircling India. That time India is trying to do encircling with Vietnam, because China believe that India joining hands with America and creating a lot of problems in their country and trying to spoil the relations between China and India. And that political feeling of Chinese leadership to be cleared. The fog should be removed from the mind. At the same time, the diplomatic level friendly relationship has to be established. Since the Prime Minister himself claimed that there is no intrusion or invasion by the Chinese, then the number of soldiers who lost their life should be compensated by the government with immediate effect. Then why did you send the soldiers to the border? It was a fault. So first of all, you have given misinformation to the people that there was an intrusion. In the end of the day, after death of so many soldiers, you are saying that there was no intrusion. In this case, the government and the Prime Minister is answerable to the public. Then the next question is that if China is innocent, or China is being isolated by everyone, then the time has come to the world community to believe that China is not going to be isolated. China has a strength and China will become much stronger. And what China wants is that India should not be in the hands of the Western countries and to play game for them, because China has a kind of fear about the Chinese border with India, and that is the only border which China is facing stiff resistance or strong force. The rest of the Vietnam or Philippines are not very strong countries, and they can easily China can easily take over them. So what the China expect is that a friendly relationship with India, and why can't India give it? Otherwise, if India has a plan to take over up to Aksajin or the land it lost, this is the time they believe that it has to be taken over, then straight away go and fight a war and take it over. Then why are you wasting? So both sides, from now it looks like the India is the culprit on both sides. Now the Western nations has created a unit or a group of nations who is against China and isolating China. It won't be in the interest of India to join that bandwagon, because India is the neighbor of China and these European countries are far off. If we need some help, then it is Russia and China have to give to India. And if they are together, India, China, Russia, create a triangle, it will be more beneficial than joining the people who live far off from India. Especially the Europeans are making a 6 to 8 member countries forum to isolate China, and America want to use India and Indian land as a platform to fight against China. So it won't be in the interest of India to fight such a war in favor of someone or for others' favor. For example, Western countries or especially the America may have their own interest and political interest, diplomatic interest and trade interest, and India should not jump into such a bandwagon. Since China is proved to be innocent and China has not invaded to any country, any land of India, then the time has come for India to apologize and pay compensation to the loss of the life of Chinese soldiers and withdraw immediately from the border in a decent way and remain as a good neighbor for every country, because every time India comes with contradictory messages, informations from the political level, one information, opposition level, another information, military level, another information, diplomatic level, another contradictory information. So India has become a country of so many contradictions and which mislead many nations which support it. So one day whenever there is a real crisis will come, now people will not take India seriously. So time has come for the political establishment and diplomatic establishment to correct the communication in a proper manner. With this, we are ending this week's Good Morning World, and thank you for watching. Good morning.